entering the hall, and we would request you to rise when you hear the drums. I will be giving you a cue as well. The procession will be led by the President of BMS, Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena. He'll be followed by the Chief Guest, Guest of Honor, special guests, and other key dignitaries of this graduation ceremony. Please rise. Now I'd like to invite members of the procession to please proceed towards the oil lamp, which will be lit now. It is tradition in these parts to light an oil lamp, signifying many things, of which most importantly is to bring about good blessings on this august gathering. And I'd like to request everyone in this room to participate in invoking good blessings on this graduation ceremony and to celebrate all these achievements that you will see on stage today. And now I'd like to invite members of the head table to please make their way on stage and assume their seats. And as the members of the head table take their seats, you are also invited to please do so as well.
Tamdana tatana tana tana tamdana deitana tatana tana deitana tatana tana tana tamdana deitana tatana tana Bambara banditi wale wale banditi putati devi yanta devele vipunu malata vada bambaritu ale igural bandar muditi du botle Malla pipune vatuwala ruwata malyanave satapena kalata savarang bondiya aragena atata igurugal bandar pidaiya pata
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, as one family, please do rise for the BMS campus anthem.
BMS අපවිද්‍යා භූමි දස දෙසකිතු ගොස සුපදර වැනි මතුලොව දිනුවට ගුණ නැන දේවි එම ලොව වෙත අප සැමගෙන යාවි BMS எங்கள் அறிவியல் மைதானம் சுற்றிச் சென்று எமது தாயை பாருங்கள் எதிர்கால வெற்றிக்கு ஞானத்தை அளிக்கிறதே அறிவியல் உலகுக்கு என்னை விதைக்கிறதே நீங்கள் எங்கள் பலமே நீங்கள் எங்கள் சக்தி நீங்கள் எங்கள் வழிகாட்டி நாங்கள் உங்களுடையவர்கள்
BMS, our veritas and knowledge, our mother, prestige everywhere. You give us wisdom of quality. You will carry us to the winning world. You're our strength. You're our cause. You're our liberator. You're our protector. Shine, BMS, shine. Shine in the world. Shine every day. Shine all the way.
You may be seated now. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a day of celebration. Congratulations for making it. It's a day celebrating much effort by everyone in this room, commitment, and also undying ambition. And it has brought you to the BMS degree convocation of 2025. Today is a showpiece. Today is pageantry. Today is the day that we all stand proud. And to match that, we have a head table, and I'd like to introduce you to the members who are seated there. Our chief guest here this evening is Professor John Woodward, Pro Vice Chancellor of Northumbria University, UK. Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena, President of BMS Campus. Dr. Gamini Samaranayaka, Senior Vice President of BMS Campus. Dr. Callum Gamage, Vice President of BMS Campus. Ms. Hamzi Hanif, Education Programs Manager of the British Council, Colombo. Dr. Madhi Kandaya, Dean, Faculty of Life and Medical Sciences. And Dr. Nizam Razak, Founder Director of BMS campus. This graduation will not be formal until something is done, and I am about to invite a special someone to do the honor of declaring open the BMS Degree Convocation of 2025, and that is our chief guest here this evening, Professor John Woodward. Sir, would you do us the honors, please?
I declare BMS Degree Convocation 2025 is now open.
Thank you, sir. And with that formality done, you can be rest assured that what you receive is a document worth its weight. BMS Campus in Northumbria's partnership over 2 decades has produced thousands of graduates in Sri Lanka. It is a highly successful, long-standing education partnership in this island. British Council's TNE research report in 2024 records the BMS Northumbria partnership as a case study to follow for its quality standards and graduate outcomes. The partnership has been constantly supported by the British High Commission, British Council, and the local industry. BMS campus celebrated its Silver Jubilee last year, as it marked 25 years of a legacy in higher education. It is a degree awarding institution recognized by the Ministry of Education under the Universities Act of Sri Lanka. BMS's success is achieved under the strategic leadership of none other than its president, Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena. As an institution, it takes pride that time and again, its worth is measured by parents and students and alumni recommending without fear or favor its courses for the young ones to come. BMS has now built a very strong community, and it is one of the largest in terms of producing graduates of your kind. May I now invite the person who's at the helm driving this ship, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you in proper. May I have at the podium its president, Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena.
Professor John Woodward, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Northumbria University and our chief guest this afternoon, all the distinguished dignitaries at the head table, faculty, staff, graduates, parents, well-wishers, and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the governing board and the Senate of the BMS campus, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. I also wish to congratulate all the graduates who are to receive their degree certificates today on the high performance that they had done at their examinations, giving immense pride to us as well as to their parents. This is an opportunity for you to show your colors in front of your parents. Since BMS had celebrated its Silver Jubilee last year, I would like to call all of you Gen Silver Jubilee because you are the first batch that is to be produced after we have celebrated our Silver Jubilee. So you have a special responsibility after you go to the society because Sri Lanka needs your talents, your ability, and also your commitment to take Sri Lanka to the next stage of economic development. We have with us today as our chief guest, Professor John Woodward, who had visited this beautiful island for the first time today. One good thing about Professor John Woodward is he had developed an instant love affair for the country. He tells me he loves the rains that are going to shower in the afternoon, even though many of us may have felt the rains a disturbing event. There's another specialty about Professor John Woodward. He's a glaciologist by academic profession. His research has taken him down to the northern pole, about 3 kilometers of ice. Below that ice, he had found a lake. In the lake, he has found species, life. Now, his job is to bring that life back to our planet and see how that particular hidden life can help us in the future. So he's immensely involved in his research program, and I hope that one day he may find a place for us to go and live in that lake, or that species to come out and live with us without making any disturbance to our own life. We welcome you to Sri Lanka as well as to BMS. As students, you have gone through a life which has been a very stressful, requiring hard work at all times. Our motto says that our motto is simply make learning happen, but everybody knows it doesn't happen automatically. There is our academic staff as well as the non-academic staff which had been behind you at all times, forcing you to make that learning happen. I recognize at this moment the contribution made by our academic and non-academic staff to produce the best of the best graduates in Sri Lanka, where Northumbria University can now boast of more than 5,000 graduates in this country, some working in the country, some working outside the country. And many of them have done their postgraduate degrees and providing a useful service to the global community because they are global citizens, not the local citizens. You also have a special responsibility today by community because you have been funded by your parents who had undergone immense economic difficulties to support you in your learning program. Therefore, it is the parents as well as the students who are our best asset here today. We consider you as the ambassadors who will take the message of BMS to the future, to the rest of the country, to bring other students to us. We have noted that BMS as an academic institution does not do that much of outside marketing. Our name has been spread throughout the country by word of mouth. And that word of mouth has been used by you as well as your parents. It is the students who will tell other students that there is an institution called BMS Campus which offer these degree programs of Northumbria University. Parents who will tell other parents that they have found that BMS is a very hospitable institution for anyone to approach. And therefore, without incurring a large marketing budget, we have been able to spread our word. And that is how we have been a successful institution for the last 25 years. And in the future also, for many more years, we will be a successful institution simply because of the ambassadorial role that you would be playing for us. Sri Lanka has just recovered from a very bad economic crisis. We are still in the middle of the crisis, and Sri Lanka government is planning to digitally transform Sri Lanka to a new type of an economy. The government sector, the main sectors in the economy, and also the private businesses have to adopt the digital transformation as a part of their strategy to make Sri Lanka a rich country. And in that sense, those who have graduated from Northern University have a special role to play. Though they are a very small number compared to the large number of people in Sri Lanka, they can make an immense impact on the lives of Sri Lankans by making a best contribution to the goal of the government of Sri Lanka. So my plea to you is, after you walk out of this BMICH premises, you will be adults, you are on your own, but at the same time, you have a responsibility to perform by the nation. And I hope that you are fully equipped to do that, make that role. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those words of wisdom. And that was the President of BMS, Dr. W. Vijay Vardhana, who is also former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank in Sri Lanka, and a very looked forward to columnist in the media as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Northumbria University has been recognized as one of the top universities in the UK after being awarded the title of Modern University of the Year in 2025 by the Times and the Sunday Times. I would now like to move on to introduce our chief guest. Professor John Woodward is the Pro-Vice Chancellor International at Northumbria University. I must add that he is also executive lead of the Northeast Space Skills and Technology Center. Professor John provides strategic leadership of the university's international strategy, including maintaining strong relationships with transnational education partnerships, developing the international recruitment strategy, delivering an excellent international student experience in their campuses, and developing strategic international research partnerships. Professor John has a degree in geography from the University of Leeds, also studying for an Erasmus year at the University of Liège, Belgium. He has an MSc from the University of Alberta, Canada, and a PhD from the University of Leeds. He joined Northumbria in 2003, becoming Faculty Pro-Vice Chancellor, Engineering and Environment in 2018 before moving to his current role in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you this gentleman of an illustrious career, our chief guest this evening, Professor John, to address all of you.
Dr. Vijay, President of BMS, Dr. Razak, distinguished guests, family, friends, and most importantly of all today, you, our graduates. As Pro-Vice Chancellor of Northumbria University, it gives me great pleasure in welcoming you to today's graduation ceremony, celebrating the success of Northumbria University students at BMS. Graduation is an important day in any university calendar, the formal ceremony that marks the completion of your studies. But your graduation is so much more than that. Today is a day for celebration, a time to reflect on the hard work and determination that's brought you to this moment. You will shortly collect your certificate, and then you'll walk across this stage. And this is perhaps the most symbolic part of today's ceremony. As you take those few steps, you move from student or graduand, someone about to receive an academic degree, to graduate. And that is a truly significant moment. So graduands, while I know it might be a little nerve-wracking, as you walk up to this stage, take a second or two to think about your own personal journey that has brought you to this point. Enjoy your moment, imprint it on your memory. And family, friends, fellow students, colleagues, please feel free to mark that special moment. Clap, cheer, whistle. If you've brought a drum, please use that. This is a moment to celebrate. So don't be shy in showing your pride and happiness in our students' achievements. I'm basically saying, I really want to hear some noise today. Throughout your time here, you've been supported by Northumbria and BMS community, many of whom are here to celebrate with you today. They will have helped and guided you along your journey with us, whether supporting you academically, practically, or emotionally. I'm extremely proud of my colleagues' commitments to you, our students, and I'd personally like to take this opportunity to thank them all for this dedication and hard work. And of course, this is also a time to reflect on the key role that your family and friends have played in your success. Whatever the shape or form of that support, few of us make these journeys alone. So today is also an opportunity to say thank you to those important people, many of whom are here with you today. Universities are really amazing places. They make an extraordinary contribution to our communities. Creating new knowledge and sharing it is central to their purpose. Universities help change people's lives. And through our graduates, they genuinely help us to take on tomorrow by providing the leaders of the future in business, in industry, in public services, in healthcare, in politics, and in the arts. The knowledge created here flows out into Sri Lanka, into the wider Asia region, and to the world beyond. Today, you are graduating from one of the UK's best and most exciting universities. Many of you will be aware that we were awarded and named the Times Higher Education University of the Year for 2022, and more recently, Modern University of the Year for 2025 by the Times Good University Guide, achievements of which I am enormously proud. This means that we were selected as the very best university in the UK in direct acknowledgement of our unique position, as not only a research-intensive university, but importantly one that has retained a clear mission to drive social mobility, unlocking potential, and changing lives. Northumbria's performance in the last Research Excellence Framework, an exercise that assesses the quality and scale of research across all UK universities, was nothing short of remarkable. As the sector's largest riser in research power for the second time, our status as a research-intensive university was confirmed. By delivering impactful research across all our subject areas, we help tackle the biggest regional, national, and global challenges that we face. And research enriches our students' learning. Taught by leaders in their field, students have the opportunity to actively participate in live research projects, helping to create new knowledge and understanding. Research genuinely empowers our students to achieve their career and life ambitions beyond graduation. Northumbria is also a global institution, attracting international students from across the world to our campuses in both Newcastle and London. But we have partnerships in Singapore, Hong Kong, Grenada, Qatar, and of course, here in Sri Lanka. Our global presence is growing, and we're creating global career opportunities for you, our graduates. Our partnership with BMS is a clear example of Northumbria's global reach. For more than 20 years, this partnership has produced graduates, numbering nearly 5,000 today, who are making their mark on the world whilst contributing to the economy and rich culture of Sri Lanka. The strength and significance of this enduring relationship was recently recognised when Northumbria University awarded an honorary doctorate of law to BMS Director Nizam Razak in November 2024, acknowledging his visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to our shared mission of transforming lives through education. Indeed, the partnership continues to excel through innovative programs like the Business Clinic, providing practical consultancy experience that allows companies to benefit from our undergraduate students' knowledge and fresh perspectives. Meanwhile, our biomedical sciences program has fostered extensive research collaborations with Sri Lanka state universities, the Industrial Technology Institute, and local hospitals. Students and staff working with our academics in Newcastle have pushed boundaries in plant-based medicine, water quality assessment, and nanomaterial synthesis using medicinal plants, with final year students and tutors publishing their findings in both local and global journals. Through these initiatives of knowledge sharing and research collaboration, we're not just teaching, we're creating new knowledge together. However, none of this would be possible without you, our students, and without partnerships like the one we share with BMS. It is through partnerships like this that both our institutions can develop, thrive in a global world, and realize our vision. But wherever your journey takes you from here, near or far, you have an enormous individual and collective opportunity to shape the future. That future will bring with it opportunities and challenges. And I know some of you will still be working through where you go from here. And what I want to say to you today is that's okay. That is nothing to worry about. What I can promise you is that the degree that you have gained from this great university will help you on whatever journey comes next. As you leave here today, you become Northumbria University and BMS alumni, and part of our global family of over 250,000 graduates across 178 countries. And I hope you will maintain your connection with us so that we can work together to explore opportunities for the next generation of BMS and Northumbria students. And I hope that the Northumbria community can continue to support you into the future. So wherever your own journey might take you, I hope we've prepared and equipped you to travel with determination, with confidence, and with pride. I hope you use what you have learned here at Northumbria and BMS to make change in whatever field you go into. Use the skills that you have developed to make a difference. You are not responsible for the challenges of our age, but each and every one of you can be the force that helps to overcome them as graduates of Northumbria University. Congratulations once again. I wish you success for the future. Enjoy your day. Thank you for listening. And please remember to make some noise for your friends, your colleagues, your fellow students as you walk across this stage today. Congratulations.
Thank you, Professor John. Your encouraging words are truly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, as I did before, here's another announcement about Northumbria University. It was named Research University of the Year into 2024 in the league table published by the Daily Mail. So all of you, as mentioned before as well, all of you must be proud of being a graduate of the best modern research university of the UK. BMS is the first non-state institution in Sri Lanka to introduce a biomedical science program to develop the profession of biomedical scientists. BMS has received international accreditation and approval from the Institute of Biomedical Science and Royal Society of Biology in the UK. And in so saying, we will now commence conferring degrees in the biomedical science and biotechnology fields. I'd like to invite Professor John Woodward, Pro Vice Chancellor of Northumbria University, UK, to do us the honors by conferring the BSc Honors in Biomedical Science and Biotechnology degree. And as he mentioned, the applause has to be tremendously loud. Let's keep going, because as I know, this list is just growing and growing every year, and this year is larger or longer than the previous, so it will be quite an evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the first name to be read out, Bachelor of Science Honors in Biomedical Science, Balakumar Swastigan. Devni Kunhe. Jeshuran Cruz. Pavani Imasha. Chanodya Gajanayaka. Mariam Fazir. Anuja Udayadasan. Kandib Sarma. Ashani de Alves. Tilini Chatubashini. Shamra Anas. Desanya Silva. Danuki Mutuhettigama. Daksha Gunasekara. Devini Cruz. Ala Zaki. Angelika Ratnayaka. Joanna Christie. Ishantika Anton. Hasna Hanifa. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the BSc Honours in Biotechnology. Maheli Bandara. Falak Fawaz. Malit Shehan. Mehnaz Abdul. Yuveen Vijayasiri. Shani Fernando. Litmali Kodikara. Atik Azat. Sasikumar Kamiksha. Netaka Pereira. Zaina Lafir. Gayashmi Fernando. Chanaka Herat. Rashbika Silva. The next few graduates secured a first class in BSc Honours Biomedical Science and the BSc Honours in Biotechnology. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for first class honours in BSc Honours in Biomedical Science. First, we start with Adiba Ali. Iswaradasan Mayurshan. Hitam Harun. Amshana Kurus. Sanjana Mahaliana. Sachira Dilmin. Hansi Ranasinghe. Tabitha Prince. Chulani Rannettige. Sajid Saras. Ishara Fernando. Ad Shaja Uday Kumaran. Sachandri Varnakula. Nimeshi Savanya. Sajida Hamid. Dinushi Amanda. Dahami Prarthana. Melanie Ignatius. Piumi Hettigahatte. Tilangi Gunawardhana. Vaishnavi Uday Kumaran. Rashmi Anthony. Dilakshiga Ranjit Kumar. Shalina Yudaselvan. Dear friends, the following candidates whose name I will announce achieved BSc Honours in Biomedical Science with a first class and in addition to a commendation of merit. BSc Honours Biomedical Science, first class with a commendation of merit. Kavishmi Krishnan. Adiba Shamil. Sivaniya Vinayagamurthy. Anuji Vagasingha. Kanapati Dilukshani. Oshadi Pereira. Halima Saliha. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the BSc Honours in Biotechnology and those receiving first class. Get me Prabodhya. Dhanyal Kada. Erandi Fernando. Venumi Fernando. Kavindya Samansiri. Dulakshi Kavindya. Chanud Ekanayaka. Vinavi Boyagoda. Metmi Batagoda. Netmi Pereira. Nuha Jaber. Priyanka Francis. Sandra Lobo. Vaishali Arumugam. Rushara Fernando. Ilma Ehsan. Sion Fernando. Rukshika Jayakumar. Ladies and gentlemen, the following candidates will receive their BSc Honours in Biotechnology with a first class, and in addition to that, they will also receive a commendation of merit. So here goes. BSc Honours Biotechnology, first class with commendation of merit. Ayesha Rifai. Randhika Veerasekara. I beg your pardon, Randhika Veerasekara. Atiya Tahir. Chiranya Jayasena. Ladies and gentlemen, the next list of names is quite special. The graduates secured first-class degrees, of course, and also made it to the BMS's Dean's Award for 2025, securing 70% or more marks in each module of the degree program and an average of 70% or more. Ladies and gentlemen, BSc Honours Biomedical Science, first class, and making it to the BMS Dean's List for academic excellence, Rahma Afirin. Zainab Fairoz. Surani Dayawansa. Aisha Ismail. Nelini Senadi. Shamya Anas. Nuha Fahim. Sara Jauhar. Hajara Naz. Ramana Rajaratnam. Vaishnavi Sachitanandan. Parami Seneviratna. Vihangi Tantilage. Mahika De Silva. Karshana Vijayamanna. Gayatmi De Silva. Nidushan Devadas. Yanusha Anandaraja. Dharani Jayaratnam. Hiruni Vidarshana. Sajitra Namanathan. Rwanya Gunatilaka. Shane Abraham. Matisha Mendes. Sajida Fairoz. We now move on to the BSc Honours Biotechnology First Class and also making it to the Dean's List for Academic Excellence, Robina Altaf. Nasma Nista. Hafsa Nalim. Alia Shihan. Ishka Jainuddin. And Yuktika Anthony. Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest with us here this evening, a true friend of BMS for more than 20 years. She is a live wire of the British Council in Colombo. Ms. Hamzi Hanif is the Education Programs Manager at British Council, Sri Lanka. With over 2 decades of experience at the British Council in a range of roles, Hamzi brings deep expertise in managing and delivering impactful education initiatives. Before joining British Council, Ms. Hamzi worked in banking and made a successful transition into the development sector, bringing in the same focus and effectiveness to every role she held since. Ladies and gentlemen, a friend indeed, Ms. Hamzi Hanif, may we have you at the podium? She's already there.
Good evening, everyone. Distinguished guests, graduates, proud parents, family members, faculty, and many people who've been waiting for this day almost as eagerly as the students themselves. First, to the graduating class, congratulations. You made it. And to the parents, you really made it. Because let's be honest, every degree in Sri Lanka is actually a group project. The student studies and the parents pay. I want to start off with a small personal story. I didn't walk the stage like this. I didn't have a robe or a hat to throw. But I come from a family where even doing my A-levels was unusual. In a slightly traditional, but also somehow liberal Muslim family, the pattern was simple. Once the girls reached a certain age, you stayed home, and then you got married. Well, I was the first one to break that pattern. I pushed through, I did my levels, I stepped out, I worked, and I've basically been working ever since. This is only my second job, but it's been a long one. And today, I stand here. I have 2 daughters, both of who have gone on to do their master's degree, and my old daughter is now finishing her PhD. If someone had told my grandparents that one day their granddaughter, the one who wasn't even supposed to do her A-levels, would raise a girl doing a PhD, they would have said, she's exaggerating again. But life works out in ways you don't always expect. So, to all of you graduating today, let me tell you something that took me years to learn. Your path is your own. Not your friends, not your cousins, and not the auntie from next door whose idea of what you should be doing. In Sri Lanka, we grew up with a simple formula for success: doctor, engineer, lawyer. If you said you wanted to do something else, people looked at you like you announced you were moving to the Mars. But the world has changed. Success today comes in many shapes, and some predictable, some not. Some of you will climb fast, some will slow down, restart, switch lanes, fail, start over, and then succeed. Some will take risks, some will play safe, some will be confused, and that's absolutely normal. Because let me be honest with you, nobody figures out life at 23. And if you think you have, don't worry, life will correct you soon enough. The real measure of success is not the title on your business card. It's whether you're constantly learning, improving, adapting, and doing something that makes you want to wake up in the morning more often than not. Now, a gentle message to the parents. I say this with love. As a fellow Sri Lankan mother who has paid for far too many courses, please give them some space. Not too much space. They will still need to call you, but enough space to grow, make mistakes, and figure out who they are. Because these young adults are stepping into a world very different from the one we grew up in. They need room to discover what drives them, what they're good at, and yes, sometimes what they're not good at. I'm not suggesting that students go home today and say, Ami, Tati, Mama, I'm now a free bird. Kindly step aside. Please don't do that. I don't want angry parents calling me tomorrow. But I'm saying to parents, you've built the foundation. You've guided them here. Now let them walk the next steps. They will stumble. They will fail. They will make questionable choices, but they will also learn, grow, and become stronger because of it. That's how real confidence is built, not from being protected from all mistakes, but from learning how to stand back up. Graduates, you're entering a world full of challenges, but also full of opportunity. Technology is changing everything. Industries are shifting. New careers are emerging that didn't even exist 5 years ago. So take risks when you can. Say yes to opportunities, even if they scare you a little. And understand that your first job is not your final destination. It's just a step. Sometimes a very confusing step, but a step nonetheless. Build relationships, stay curious, keep learning. And most importantly, remember that success is not linear. You don't have to follow someone else's timeline. So here's my final thought. Be brave enough to build a life you want, wise enough to learn from what goes wrong, and patient enough to wait for the things that take time. To the graduating class, congratulations once again. To the parents, thank you for everything you've invested. And to the faculty, thank you for shaping the minds and futures in front of us today. I wish all of you courage, clarity, and a little bit of good luck, because we all need some of that too. Thank you.
Some friendly advice from our dear friend Hamzi, as we all call her. Newcastle Business School of Northumbria University is the first institution in Europe to secure double accreditation in both business and accounting from the Association to Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business, or popularly known as AACSB International. Newcastle Business School has a global reputation for delivering some of the best business management education in the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to that, and I'd like to invite once again our chief guest, Professor John Woodward, to continue conferring the degrees in business. I'm happy that along with me, there is one more person who has to keep standing for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. BSc Honours with Global Business Management, Muhammad Ashka. Logeshwaran Nirushan. Ahmad Amin. Amra Azwa. Tarushika Gamage. Zufa Zuhri. Danusika Sivasoti. Tarushika Fernando. Abdullah Ashat. Padmanathan Bhavani. Dakshika Chitramayam. Kogul Satyanandan. Ganeshi Dharmaratna. Mariam Dilshan. Hashini Dilshika. Nikita Samaravira. Yenuri Subasingha. Chamudi Vijayaratna. Piyumi Senaratna. Shima Maulana. Suleiman Rashid. Yusuf Nizwa. Rajendran Abhilash. Devindi Gamage. Suhail Mustaq, Tisuri Ruwanya, Somaya Kabilashan, Hashani De Silva, Anushka Nilesh, Pamudi Piris, Bilal Danish, Rushira Samrakun, Shuaib Yunus, Yunus Rishad, Zair Firdaus, Abdurrahman Zamir, Aman Nias, Aqeed Irshad, Alan Sugunasekara, Hansini Rasangani, Shannon De Silva, Azam Junkir, Shanelka Jaisingha, Nisni Dinayana, Savini Jayatilaka, Patum Darshananath. Sasanka Agalawatta. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you're wondering and the list is long, we are in the BSc Honours with Global Business Management. Continue the applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Rashmi Surya Rachi. Umanda Tenakon. Kaushadi Tenakon. Tavisihi Korituaku. Hashini Nimeshika. Kavisha Prabodhini. Davesh Subramaniam. Aruni Gunasekara. Darshika Sharvidi. Afra Jaufa. Yenuli Tisarachi. Safa Sahardeen. Joshua Valikala. Netranjali Gaveshika. Kirushan Surendra Raj. Priyanka Ranasingha. Dilmi Fernando. Dilushika Sagayan. Sujita Loganathan. Dilukshi Mendes. Lakmi Nilukshika. Keshini Dangal. Sharafat Samsudeen. Hansika Chandrananda. Hirashini Ramakrishnan. Zainab Rizan. Isuri Ilangakon. Joel Jabaraj. Murugesh Ubeshwaran. Mithila Ranasinghe. Supuni Pereira. Vindhya Mihirani. Shinal Tisera. Seumi Patirana. Dahami Divanjali. Just a moment, I think there is a queuing up happening. Okay. Kaushalya Disanayaka. Professor, thank you. We'll give you a short break and we'll take a short break and be back. Ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you that in the recent past, there was a conference held, the National Education Conference. It was held for the third time. And it's a privilege that BMS had the conference chair position. And it was amazing. The topic that was discussed was AI and education's future. And I believe that that's a topic that needs to be told, spoken about as much as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you a gentleman who is absolutely passionate in transforming how education happens. You know him, and he's already standing, I believe, and I know him very well. Generally a person who would not like to stay at the podium too much. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder, director of BMS, Dr. Nizam Razak.
Thank you, and distinguished guests of the head table, and graduates, and parents, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Today, you know that we had a session in the morning, that we did the second session, and some more you are waiting to receive your awards. So I'll make it very brief. Everyone here, that is the graduates here, I may have met them when they come to BMS in the day one. So today, I'm seeing them as a graduate. So I will be the most delighted person to see you graduate today, where I saw the course of years, where there are a number of instances which I had an issue with you regarding the mobile phone, nothing else. So that in the course of the years, we have made you not only as a graduate, where when you complete a degree, you can become a graduate. But I want to tell your parents why you are different than other graduates. We not only allow you to have knowledge, skill, and gain competence over the degree. In the course of the years, we have built your character. We have disciplined your character. We have told you that you need to pursue values. There are instances, some of the boys, I had a fight with a haircut. And there are a number of instances where I will be able to have a discussion on the appearance. These are, sometimes you get annoyed at that time. But the proof of our graduate employability is an indication that you are completely different than other graduates. You know how to handle a workplace. Particularly, you know where you have values to manage others in the workplace. And why 16 employers in the country come to BMS, pick you immediately after the interview because of the values and the characters which you have inculcated into you apart from the knowledge. Northumbria University degree you are completing, exactly the same degree what is in the UK you study here. This assessment, same assessment you take here. You know, business degree is coming from an institution AACSB accredited, which means top 5% of the business school in the world. So you are received a degree from the top 5% of the business school in the world. So don't forget to indicate that in your CV. Your CV must indicate the institution which you have obtained the degree is AACSB accredited. The same way biomedical science, your degree is accredited by Institute of Biomedical Science, which creates scientists. So we have been lobbying in Sri Lanka to create a profession of scientists, like nurses. So you create a profession of scientists. We have been lobbying for that. We will be very soon successful on that. So you are being authorized to become a scientist. Therefore, your course is accredited by Institute of Biomedical Science. Your biotechnology course is accredited by Royal Society of Biology. So everything you study have an international accreditation. That international accreditation ensures that you are ready for the global workplace. And we present you with such a high standards to be available for global working people. I will keep giving you examples. Ravi Rekha, just like you, couple of years before, sat in the BMICH. Today, she is the research practitioner at Oxford University. #1 in the world. She is a research practitioner. She's working as a research practitioner in the Oxford University. Heshan, he did biotechnology, just like you, he sat here. He is #5, Cambridge University. He's a research assistant. Why I'm saying this is this, you are a different lot. You have the ability and the competence, it's which are of high standard. All what you got to do is that now get ready to come to the world, and the competence of the degree must give you the confidence. That confidence which create you the workplace all around the country. The question our Professor Woodward asked, are you ready to take on tomorrow? The world is volatile. The world is confused. The world is disturbed. One side economic war, the other side real war, and the other AI war, as the computer said, the AI war. So there are different wars in the world, volatile world. What you need is the competence and the confidence which we have given you. World is, and the future is belong to people who believe in their dreams. You have achieved the first dream today. And just don't watch the clock. Do what the clock is doing, is moving. Keep moving. The opportunity will come. I told you that Ravi Rekha never thought in her life she will go and work in the Oxford University. Here everyone is capable of reaching there. You don't need to worry about it. AI is in crossroads. We had a conference and we have been talking about it. AI may take 1 million jobs away, but AI can also create new jobs. You don't need to worry much about AI, but only thing we have to accept that artificial intelligence and human intelligence will fight together, fight each other. But always that human intelligence will have a place. There are Harvard research shows that the question of whether computers super intelligent, can they create their intelligence on their own? Whether without the algorithms and coding, whether the computers can create own knowledge. We all say that computers cannot do because human has to interfere into artificial intelligence. But the researchers now coming in, certain percentage of intelligence can be created, super intelligence computers. So the world is such a disturbed thing today, but world is changing very fast. So that you need to be, as I keep telling you, competent and confident, and understand that you have gained the knowledge and skill which are special. You are completely different than others. You are better than others. You can do it. You will do it and do it. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've known Dr. Nizam for nearly more than 15 years, and I really enjoyed the speech. Thank you so much. Competence and confidence, and thank you for shedding light on the difference between knowledge and wisdom, and knowing and actually doing it, or capability. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move on, conferring the degrees, and I'd like to invite our chief guest once again to the fore to continue awarding these degrees this evening. Joel Jabaraj. These are the BSc Honours with Global Business Management. Murugesh Ubeshwaran. Mithila Ranasinghe. Supani Pereira. Vindhya Mihirani. Julie Ratneswaran. Manura Vaidyaratna. Charindri Matrage. Ruzni Imad. Aditya Netmini. Deluca Silva. Netmi Pereira. Basit Fakurdin. Purna Pereira. Beg your pardon, Purna Pereira. And Muhammad Arham. We now read the list of the BSc Honours in Accounting and Finance. Farah Iltizam. Shaira Zubair. Samanti Vijay Singha. Gokulnath Madhivanan. Haider Ali Hashid. Hazir Hilmi. Kandage Fernando. Loshini Subramaniam. Tashiri Manawaduge. Sitik Risi. Nabil Mihilar. Ruchini Hasinika. Marissa Paulus. Shashika Ratnayaka. Segar Vitushika. Aaron Deshawn. Sabina Fernando. Selvaraj Nidish. Devin Suarez. Laya Shamim. Santuni Fernando. Rukshana Kitchell. Lasita Umesh. Tuan Saraj. Sandavi Dangal. Tarini Hasara. Muhammad Ali. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, we need to keep the applause going strong. Naren Prasad. Muzni Samat. Nasik Muhammad. Sneha Satyaseelan. Vatsala Sanchikumar. Kavindi Baduge. Sudishna Fernando. Shahala Kiasdeen. Sadisha Pereira. Malit Silva. Udara Habakkala. Umashini Krishnanandan. Milroy Shanmugaraja. Diniti Kastruriarachi. Ganeshi De Silva. Mushrafa Ahmed. Chanuka Vijay Veera. Syed Neha. Mamastika Umanandan. Dineshwaran Patkunan. Christine Joachim Pulle. Dulanjana Dilshan. Asad Ahmad. Tuhina Gimhan. Menat Kolumbage. Ladies and gentlemen, we are reading out the degrees of BSc Honours Global Business Management Marketing. Usman Fazir. Aina Amjad. Umar Hussain. Amani Farouz. Elisha Gunasekara. Isabella Anandappa. Janindu Tilakaratna. Shiran Gunatilaka. Ramisha Bandara. Purnima Hansamali. Muhammad Jahe. Priyanka Vijay Raghavan. Samadhi Gardiheva. Shinali Rodrigo. Ahmad Irfan. Nafat Naiza. Mariam Rahim. Aisha Nizar. Fadil Feroz. Muhammad MGM. Rochelle Pereira. Sandra Lawrence. Sadat Hassan. Lukman Firdaus. Yunus Faleh. Amaz Ashik. Himash Amarasinghe. Vagisha Diltush. Seumi Patirana. Dahami Divanjali. Kaushalya Disanayaka. Kanchana Pereira. Sanutmi Jayasinghe. Amandi Gunawardana. We now move on to the BSc Honours Global Business Management in Human Resources. Geshani Vimala Gunasekara. Nipuni Lianamana. Sachini Pereira. Shahruka Shiva Chandra Bose. Tineka Ravindra Kumar. Anjana Ramesh. Revon Benjamin. Safna Fazil. MF Ahmed. Abdul Majid. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the BSc in Honours Global Business Management, those receiving first class. Khadija Mizwa. Muhammad Altaf. Abhinaya Sureshwaran. Raveen Yagama. Tarini Balachandran. Nitashini Ramachandran. Maura Rahavan Uday Rahava Kurukkal. Niyantri Uday Rahava Kurukkal. Ihtisham Ahmed. Mohammad Azki. Rushda Rafiq. Christine Madampage. Nimshi Shimrit. Asadullah Hassan. Lahiru Manupriya. John Samuel. Nihmatullah Hamid. Andrew Ajit. Abdul Shafiq. Aditya Veerasinghe. Nasih Nafil. Abdus Salam Hussain. Manisha Munasinghe. Akshay Rodney. Asif Ahmed. Shariz Uwaim. Hasif Halim. Aman Azhar. Rizmin Imtiaz. Sudam Fernando. Kavisha Navanjana. Ruvin Mallavarachi. Miftaz Misreen. Teruni Rupasingha. Clinton Gabriel. Sara Shauki. Atif Rizwan. Ladies and gentlemen, the following list of candidates or graduates achieved not only their BSc honors in global business management with first class, excuse me, they also get in addition the commendation of merit. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Noor Shaideen. Natali Warnakula. Terleen Koswata. Hania Ismail. Samita Jayasingha. Masna Naushad. Oshini Imasha. Amani Riyad. Movin Senaratna. Imesha Madhushani. Dear friends, we now move on to another list, and that's the BSc Honours in Accounting and Finance with First Class Honours. Dasit Charmika. Imran Afam. Rojana Fernando. Naini Pereira. Malindi Shamendra. Shazlin Shahid. Muzni Mafahir. Sheruni Rohan. Deshani Fernando. Muftiha Muhas. Ladies and gentlemen, the following list of candidates not only received their BSc Honours in Accounting and Finance with first-class honours, but also walk away with a commendation of merit. Amar Jalaldeen. Ramesh Narmada. Suhaila Siddiq. We now move on to the BSc Honours Global Business Management and Marketing and the list of those receiving first-class honours. Aisha Tahir. Ruzaika Muhammad. Shamila Afla. Munshif Dole. Amru Ashraf. The following list of graduates on top of the BSc Honours in Global Business Management specialized in marketing. They receive a first class, no doubt, but they also receive a commendation of merit. Rafshan Rafiq. Shri Sadurshan. Prince Rohan. We end the list and move on to the BSc Honours Global Business Management Human Resources First Class list. Harshini Selvaraja. Yashodi Liana Surya. Kumali Kure. Shanaz Shariz. Ladies and gentlemen, and the awards get more special and special as we move on, as you know. So the list that's to follow are graduates who secured first-class degrees and also made it to the BMS Dean's Award for 2025, securing 70% or more marks in each module of the degree program and an average of 70% or more. Ladies and gentlemen, may I read out the list of BSc Honours in Global Business Management First Class and making it to the BMS Dean's List for Academic Excellence, Nimesha Marasinghe. Shyamalan Gopalakrishnan. Sakuni Dulanjali. Rishan Pereira. Nakat Wallin. Amar Shah Jahan. Nikini Welgamage. Mohammad Zakaria. R.B. Prakashkaran. Arus Rizvi. Salman Zumri. Divya Udayakumar. Suraya Rahim. Zainab Rizwan. Sakana Jayaram. Dina Shinali. Harshiga Sivabalan. Braylee Brito. We now move on to the BSc Honours Accounting and Finance, First Class Honours, and also getting into the BMS Dean's List for Academic Excellence, Nusair Zaruk. Minha Naufa. Pasindu Haturu Singha. Diani Piamini. Senuri Arya Singha. We now shift to the BSc Honours Global Business Management in Marketing with BMS Dean's List for Academic Excellence, Sara Infiaz. Amani Mazloom. Miwad Muzammel. Ismail Hashim. Umayma Shafiq. Muhammad Sabir. Keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen. We are reaching almost the very end of the graduation. A little more to go. The BSc Honours in Global Business Management. We move on to the Human Resources list. Making it to the Dean's List for Academic Excellence, Michelle Ramesh. We now move, ladies and gentlemen, to confer degrees in MSc Management degrees from Northumbria University, UK. Hafsa Kilru. Rishman Rafiq. Hannah Vijay Surya. Sajid Karim. Ashwin De Silva. Chitrubi Loganathan. Shane Algama. Dulan Kasturi Arachi. Vikanishwari Ganesh. Pramilan Ganeshamurthy. Princey Selvaraj. Pulsara Kalubovila. Rochelle Pereira. These are the MSc in Management from Northumbria University. Sumudu Virakon. Manodya Karyavasam. Nuwangani Pereira. Tushani Fernando. Ishini Gunasekara. Fatima Roshan. Lakshani Samarasinghe. I'd like to inform that the following candidates have achieved an overall distinction in their MSc in Management degree. Amandi De Silva. Antonia Jnanaprakasam. Randi Sandamali. Randi Panditasekara. Kevin Rosario. Michelle Christie. Fatima Nada. Sanjula Pires. And Upeksha Rajapaksa. I'd like to thank our chief guest for his services on stage. Thank you, sir. You're relieved. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena Gold Medal for the Best BMS Student of the Year 2025. Let me read out the criteria. For the gold medal, it includes academic excellence, special achievements, and social welfare activities. The candidate must have shown excellence in all of these areas. In 2025, not one but two candidates were eligible for this gold medal. Before I read out the names, obviously we must call the person handing them over. May I invite the President of BMS, Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena, to do us the honors, please. The Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena Gold Medal for the Best Student of the Year 2025 goes to the Faculty of Management and Technology, Ismail Hashim. Dr. Vijayavardhana, we can't let you go. This year there are two. The next Dr. W.A. Vijayavardhana Gold Medal for the Best Student of the Year 2025 goes to the Faculty of Life and Medical Sciences, Zainab Fairoz. And with the photograph taken, we'd like to invite Zainab to make the graduate address on behalf of all of you here this evening.
BMS President, Dr. Vijayavardhana, our chief guest, Professor John Woodward, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Northumbria University, distinguished members of the head table, esteemed lecturers, beloved graduates, friends, and family. A very good evening to all of you here. Today marks a significant milestone in our lives, a moment of triumph born from years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. And standing here at this podium, I feel the full weight of this achievement, a mix of gratitude, pride, and nostalgia that is surprisingly difficult to put into words. It is an honor to address the outgoing class of 2025. Each of us here have faced unique challenges that have forged us into who we are today. My blueprint for overcoming adversity, though, that was forged by my parents. My father was diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 10, a condition that can be managed but has no cure. My mother, like many other brilliant women, sacrificed her family, sacrificed her dreams to build a foundation for our family. At the age of 16, my parents were forced to put a stop to their education. So take a moment, class of 2025, and look around you. The privilege we have to sit here today is because of the silent sacrifices made by our parents and grandparents. My parents' story is definitely not unique in this hall. Their lost dreams have built the foundation for ours. My own dream stemmed from years of witnessing the silent suffering of a disease with no cure. My dream is to simply offer hope and give answers with the help of science and research. Here at BMS, I learned that dreams need company. Today, we are one step closer to our dreams, but we surely didn't get here alone. We owe a huge debt to our lecturers. We started off as a sea of confused faces who would panic at the mere mention of Krebs cycle. But from the very first lecture of our first semester to the final submission of our final year, they never gave up on us. They expanded our world through knowledge and demystified what seemed foreign to us. And on a very personal note, thank you to every lecturer who saw my hand go up and with infinite patience endured my "one quick question, ma'am," which I'll now admit it was never quick and rarely ever just one. At BMS, I also found my own personal support group, or as I like to call them, my partners in academic crime. This group of people made every experience here an unforgettable memory. It began with a simple question to the person sitting next to me, asking about their favorite books and Netflix shows. It progressed to exchanging notes before exams and late-night study sessions over 2 a.m. phone calls, which often ended with the same old serious question. Do you think this will come for the exam? Now, we face a different kind of question altogether. As we step into this harsh reality of Sri Lanka, we are told to choose between practical business and theoretical science. But I stand here today to tell you that this is not just the wrong question, but honestly, a failure of our imagination. The drive to cure a disease, to solve a water crisis, to provide cleaner energy and feed a nation, this is what defines the future. The truth is, it's not science or the economy, it's science for the economy. We are told that some diseases, like my father's, can be managed but not cured. We are now told the same about our economy, that we must simply endure its cycle of crisis. I say We stop managing symptoms and start building cures. Science dares to discover it, business dares to deliver it. Every breakthrough in a lab can turn into a reality in every home, every family, creating not just health, but jobs and growth. After all, a cure sitting in a lab helps no one, and a business without innovation cannot grow. To my fellow graduates, I sincerely hope that you find a problem that keeps you up at night in the best way possible. A problem so captivating that you forget to scroll through your phone. An idea or a path that doesn't just demand your time, but commands your passion. Let us see failure not as a final result, but as data, as feedback that guides our next more brilliant experiment. And to those of you who have helped us run this experiment, we thank them. We thank our lecturers, the architects of our intellect. We celebrate our peers who carried us with laughter, and we honor our families. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, Mama. And oh, of course, before I forget, I have to thank my brother whose strategic and frequent reminders made sure he was impossible to forget. Now, let us build a future where our knowledge not only transforms our own lives, but also the very destiny of our nation. And as cliche as it sounds, this is not the end, this is just the beginning. Congratulations, class of 2025. I hope you have a great evening. Thank you.
And if this doesn't signify how brilliant a presentation that was of all of you, I don't know what will. A little while ago, it was mentioned that we build products of competence and capability. And her speech actually gave me the jitters when you really hear someone speak with so much determination and to know deep down inside, and that's representing the crop that we have before us. It's quite promising. The future is quite promising. So thank you so much for those words, well articulated, I must say. Congratulations to all of you graduates. So there is a little practice we do usually, and that is of gratitude and appreciation. So I would like to now invite a few people in this audience, and those are our parents and our well-wishers who are here with us here this evening. And these guys have done an immense amount of work, mountains amount of work, right? So this is your time now for them to see, so you can not get up, but you can see them. But for you to give a thunderous applause congratulating your children. But as the cliche she was mentioning goes, attitude of gratitude, the graduates who are sitting here obviously didn't do it all by themselves. I'm sure while you were doing this, people were kept up, disturbed. Many family members' occasions would have been missed. To be honest, you would have been quite a little bit annoying time and again. People would have been pushing you, but ultimately you succeeded. So why not we pay those who are up there, who actually sacrificed their effort, time, money, and committed themselves for your life's ambitions? So why not give them a standing ovation that they deserve today and make it count? Thank you, parents and well-wishers and family members, brothers, sisters, all of you who have laid the foundation so that they could stand and be successful and be celebrated on stage this evening. On behalf of BMS, I'd like to thank the chief guest, our guest of honor, delegates at the head table, parents, graduates, the BMS staff, and everyone else for being part of this very momentous and happy occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, as we formally began, it is also customary to bring the curtains to a close formally. I'd like to invite our chief guest once again to the podium over there, Professor John, to please announce the conclusion of the BMS Degree Convocation of 2025.
Congratulations to you all. I declare the BMS Degree Convocation 2025 is now closed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with pride in all my heart that I invite you to now stand firm and rise for the national anthem of our great nation. Please be standing as I invite the members of the head table, led by President of BMS, Dr. W. Vijayawardena, to leave the stage and the main hall. Until then, everyone, please do keep standing.